People are funny, ladies and gentlemen. People are funny. Well, imagine being a California taxpayer, more specifically a Los Angeles resident, who has the misfortune of having your home burned to the ground. So you take to social media to cry about it. And in crying about it, you demand that the mayor resign because you have branded her incompetent and lackluster and uncaring. Now, most people would think that for anybody who is going through the hell that a lot of Los Angeles residents are going through right now, that it's understandable that they'd be angry. It's understandable that they'd want their mayor, who has shown a high level of incompetence, to resign. Now imagine you say all those things and you happen to be white. If you are not a black person, at least this is according to some people on social media, you are not allowed to criticize Karen Bass, who is the mayor of Los Angeles, regardless of how she is not performing, because she is in fact a black woman. And doing so, criticizing her that is a form of racism. You're racist if you criticize somebody who has proven herself to be incompetent. So 24 people have died in Los Angeles that we know of so far due to these wildfires that are blazing through and showing no sign of stopping. As a matter of fact, today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday, and officials on the ground, firefighters, believe that the high winds that are about to come are going to exacerbate things for firefighters. So just to give you a little taste of Karen Bass, let's go to this quick little report that Sky News did. They're based out of Australia. And they caught her when she was coming off of an airplane, and they wanted to grill her about her performance and what's going on in Los Angeles. So listen to her response, or rather listen to her lack of response. Roll it.
Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, is under intense scrutiny after she was abroad visiting Ghana when the wildfires broke out in the city. She was seen returning to the country at the city's airport, where she refused to comment on the situation.
Fire chiefs say that they're really stretched to the limit and running out of water. What have you got to say to that? Have you no response to that? Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
Let me say something to you all. I don't care if you're black, white. I don't care if you're green. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care. When you're the leader and you fail as horribly as Karen Bass is failing, you're going to get criticized. I'm not criticizing you, and the people on the ground are not criticizing Karen Bass because she's black. They're criticizing her because she's incompetent. They're criticizing her because she seems incredibly aloof and hands-off. They're criticizing her because when they demand answers and demand that she admit her flaws and her faults in all of this, she's just taken this vow of silence. She's not saying anything. I think there was a press conference and they said, there's some blame to go around. She's like, everybody's blaming someone. But, our priority right now is to contain these fires. And then we'll get to discussing all of that later on. We could do both at the same time. Because honestly, I don't think she's up to the job. And in light of all that has happened, she should step down now. So we're not only getting the criticism of Karen Bass from residents, taxpayers, people who are not even in California, people who are watching this on television and like, this woman is incompetent. The LA Times owner has now come out saying that endorsing her was a mistake. Khloe Kardashian, who is a reality star and businesswoman, her family, of course, well known, the Kardashians, went on Instagram in the aftermath of these fires breaking out to call Karen Bass a joke. And most people agreed with that sentiment because they feel the same way, that she has displayed a high level of incompetence during this tragedy. And for some reason, I guess some people feel as if the fact that Khloe is not black and she's wealthy, that she should shut her mouth and have nothing to say, even though she is a resident of California and she pays her taxes. I don't understand where this mindset comes from, that only black people could critique black people. And I can tell you, as a black person who's critiqued black people, especially a foreign black person, there are people who don't even like me criticizing black people. But it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, I don't care if you're black, white, green. I don't care who you are. If you display the level of incompetence that Karen Bass has displayed and the level of arrogance to not answer the people when they're asking questions, and the reporter functions as the people in that moment, we don't have access to these people. So when the reporter goes and puts their microphone in their face and they're asking them questions, they're asking on behalf of the people. And so when you decide to keep quiet, have nothing to say to people you have people who have lost family members and lost their homes. What do you think people are going to say about you? You are a joke. If a woman and a woman of color is going to be in a top position like she is, like Karen Bass is, you have to understand what comes along with that role. And everybody is not going to protect you. Everybody is not going to love you. Everybody is not going to excuse your behavior. The reality is, when the rubber hits the road and people's houses are burnt down and people's loved ones have died and there's no stopping of this fire for the foreseeable future, people are going to be rightfully angry. And I don't care if they're white and they're criticizing you. That does not make them racist. And no one is above reproach, not even a black woman who is a leader in Los Angeles. Let me run down some of the things that Miss Bass has done that have really irritated Los Angelinos. Okay? Number one, she left town to go to Ghana in Africa, even though there was a threat of those wildfires breaking out. Now, usually when a leader hears something like this, we have a threat of a wildfire, traveling is not on the agenda. I don't care what's going on, unless it's a family emergency where people could say, okay, I understood you had to go take care of family. There is no excusing you leaving your people. The leader stays on that ship with their crew. The leader stays on the ship with the people. But she boarded a plane and she went to Africa. Okay? So I'm out of here. Y'all deal with this. See you when I come back. I'm going to go and take care of this, inauguration in Ghana? What are you doing? You stay on the ground with your people. That's number one. Number two, she cut the fire department's budget. You know, people don't think about fires every day. We think about, crime and police need money and hospitals need money, but fires break out like that. So you can't say, oh, we haven't had a fire in a while. Los Angeles is notorious for having these wildfires. So you always have to be at the ready. It's to me like cutting a budget for FEMA when you know that you're dealing with hurricanes in Louisiana and Florida and southern states. Why would you do that? Even if in 2 years you don't have a hurricane, still keep that money at the ready, because a hurricane could come and you're going to need access to that money. But she cut the budget. Okay, number three, there was dangerous brush on the ground that her city did not clear out, and they neglected their water system. What kind of leader do you have in charge when they're not thinking about these things? When they're not making sure, again, this is not Miami. This is not DC. This is LA. On any given day, you're hearing about mudslides, or you're hearing about wildfires, or you're hearing about earthquakes. These things happen in California. So there should have been preventative measures. And you know what bothers me is that we waste so much time, like after the fact. This is typical. We all do it. I do it as well, right? But there have been people who've been warning, sounding the alarm that these things should have been taken care of. But we got money to put other places. We have other things to take care of. And then when a fire breaks out, then it's like, oh, okay, let's just focus on putting out the fire. How about we do preventative measures so that when things like this happen, we could say everything was done right. Even if it's raging, even if, yes, we lose people's homes, we could say, but everything that on our side, everything was done right. But everything was not done right in this case. You have thousands of people who have already signed petitions to have her resign. They want her gone. And despite all these things, despite people's losses, despite the fact that a lot of people don't have money to rebuild their homes, ladies and gentlemen, they do not have the money to rebuild their homes. A lot of people probably couldn't even afford the insurance on their homes. California and Florida, those are two states right there where your insurance premiums must be super high based on, in Florida, the hurricanes that you're constantly having, in LA between the earthquakes and the wildfires and mudslides and that sort of thing. I would imagine their insurance is really high. So people probably have the bare minimum, if anything at all. So it's not so easy for people to just go and rebuild. And I'm sure some insurance companies are going to be trying some foolishness in the days to come when people try to claim. So I certainly understand people's frustration. But again, Nobody is above reproach. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care who you are. If you've messed up, you are going to be criticized. And that's exactly what the people are doing. I want to make two final points. Number one of the things I keep seeing is people online saying, in regards to the Kardashian situation, that, oh, she's on here criticizing Karen Bass. Why doesn't she and her family take care of people and rebuild their homes? It is not their responsibility, the Kardashians or any other wealthy person, to rebuild anyone's home. I don't know where y'all get this mindset that because someone has money and you don't, like they're obligated to taking care of you. If you didn't have insurance on your home or you didn't make provisions for your home, I'm sorry. Nobody's responsible for taking care of you. That's your responsibility. It's your home. Now, those rich folks can decide if they choose to help people on the ground because they understand the loss, but there shouldn't be an expectation that they should just do it. That's what you're paying your taxes for, and that's what your city is supposed to take care of, to make sure that these preventative measures are in place to safeguard your home. Ain't no celebrity responsible for that. And again, I maintain that it doesn't matter that Karen Bass is black. Who cares? I don't think this is criticism about her being black. It's about criticism about her being incompetent. And that's what people need to understand. And second of all, you don't need a wealthy person to help Los Angeles residents out. People like me and you, average everyday residents and citizens here, can take our money and help people. It doesn't matter if you're giving $1, it doesn't matter if you're giving $5, $10, $20, $100. We can help our brothers and sisters out. You don't have to wait for some wealthy person to do it. It is not their responsibility to take care of the world. So I wish we'd just get out of that foolishness and stop thinking everything is about black and white. Now, I do see a lot of commentary about DEI hires. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I want to talk about that in a separate video because there's something that I'm noticing that I really want to address. But for this video, I will say the criticism that I feel that is being leveled towards the mayor of Los Angeles, I don't think that has anything to do with her race and everything to do with her lack of leadership. That's it. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear, especially from Los Angeles residents. You guys are on the ground. You all worked with her and dealt with her long before these fires broke out. So let me know what you thought about her leadership prior to these fires and during. Do you want her gone? Do you think she should resign? What do you think is next for Los Angeles? I'm really, really interested in hearing that. I feel for all the people who have lost homes. I do. And I would sincerely encourage everybody who's watching this video to contribute in some way, shape, or form. There are going to be people who are going to be running GoFundMes and that sort of thing. And if you want to put the money directly in someone's hand, you're in Los Angeles, then you're in California, or do it. Absolutely do it. And I really do, again, feel sorry for them. I am praying for them. I am, because I don't want to even know what that feels like to lose my home in a fire, to come home to nothing, to just ashes and rubble. And I think we really need to think about that and understand where people are coming from. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.